eventually get up and win the race. We're heading towards the big one, the Amy Victoria Derby here this afternoon, Paul, and equal favourites on track are 6 and 7 here. Sky Heights and also Runaway Kid are both given great chances, but you can certainly make a good case for number 3, Warrior. Warrior's form has been very, very good indeed. It ran second on the Champion Stakes behind the very, very smart Dignity Dancer 2 starts ago, and then won the Northern Robinson last start at Caulfield, so a very strong case there for Warrior. So 6 and 7. Also give it a good chance as number 2, Arena's a shorter in the market, and of course it's heading for a start in the Melbourne Cup if it happens to win this race today. Connections have got their fingers crossed. The Ingham brothers, that if Arena can win, it'll make the Melbourne Cup field. Mossman, number 1, has given a chance in the race. And outside hopes to give it a 9, Wellington. Greg Burke was pretty keen on it each way. And also number 10, Leading Light from the Bart Cummings stable. But on track 6 and 7, Sky Heights and Runaway are the strong chances from 3 and 1. I thought that number 3, Warrior, was the good chance in the Derby, Paul. I've tipped it on top, number 3, Lawyer. The Danger 7, Runaway, number 1, Mossman for third. 3, 7 and 1. That's my Derby trifecta, and things are really starting to hot up out here. And it really is a great day's racing. We're going to be in for a wonderful race, the Victoria Derby. It's one of the terrific races on the calendar each year, and I'm sure today's race is going to be a beauty.
OK, Ron, well, thanks for your thoughts there. Good luck, and we'll join you before the running of the next.
Right, thanks, Paul.
Enjoy the Derby. That's Ron Hawkswell reporting live from Flemington for SSS FM. In the Derby, number...
Stalls are back there racing in the Derby now. Mossman on the inside bounced away quickly. Lawyer began well, and from the outside, Wajib Star showing speed. Bet on a Road is nice and prominent when they settle down. At the winning post, and Wajib Star going across, but Mossman's going to push up on the inside and going out of the straight. Oh, there's a bit of trouble there. A couple badly handled, were handled out wide, and also Leading Light. And to the 2000, Mossman led now from Wajib Star. Hamlet is fired up and goes up third. Fourth in the race now, Bet on a Road. Sky Heights missed the trouble at the 2000, is back running fifth on the inside. Lawyers out 3 deep around the outside of Leading Light. Over on the inside then as they go to the back, Solidity, 1 further back, Runaway. Then Stolly, followed by Wellington, 2 lengths, then Receptor, followed by Arena, back second to last in the race, Mathandra, and 4 or 5, Typhoon last of all. Mossman kept the lead in the Derby at the 1700 metre mark and moved out by 2 lengths, and the pace is good. Second is Hamlet, a length and a half further back, Sky Heights. He's travelling OK, third on the inside of Wajib Star, fourth. A length and a half, Bet on a Road on the outside there of Leading Light, running sixth. 2 lengths further back in the race then came Lawyer. He's now 1 off the fence on the outside of Solidity. 2 then to Runaway midfield. 1 further back then over on the inside came Wellington, followed by Stolly. A length and a half, Arena, followed by Receptor. 1 and a half further back, Mathandra, and 2 lengths to Typhoon, last of all in the Derby at the 1200 metre mark, and Mossman in front. Mossman led by a length and a half to Hamlet. Most of these are travelling OK at the moment. Sky Heights third, Wajib Star fourth. 1 and a half, Leading Light running fifth. A length into Bet on a Road. 2 lengths further back then Lawyer. It's running seventh on the outside there of Solidity. 2 to Runaway. A length further back then Wellington. 1 and a half, Stolly. Arena's a long way back. 2 lengths behind it then came Receptor. They're followed by Mathandra, and 3 lengths Typhoon last of all. 7.50 out. Jim Cassidy's got Mossman in front. A half length to Hamlet. Sky Heights has had a dream run running third. Fourth outside at Wajib Star. Leading Light is following Sky Heights. They're followed by Lawyer. Further back in the race then Bet on a Road coming up to the turn, followed by Runaway. Mossman first for home in the Derby now from Hamlet. Sky Heights trying to get out. There's a run on the fence inside Mossman. Oliver's got it now, and Sky Heights is going after Mossman. 2 to Hamlet. Arena from a long way back then Lawyer. Runaway down the middle, followed by Wellington. Mossman in front of Sky Heights, and Arena getting out. Arena might be the one. Yes, he's raced up to Mossman. Sky Heights can't go on. Lawyer wider out, followed by Runaway. But Johnny Hawkes has got the Derby, I'd say. Yes, it's Arena holding Sky Heights and Lawyer at bay, and Arena wins the Derby. 2 lengths Sky Heights. Third home is Lawyer from Mossman, then Runaway, followed by Wellington. A gap in the race then to Hamlet, a long way back then Typhoon, then Wajib Star from Leading Light. Further back in the race Receptor. A gap Mathandra, followed by Stolly. Bet on a Road, and tailed off last of all is Solidity.
Number 2 Arena 810 and 270. 6 Sky Heights 190. 3 Lawyer 180.
Moving into the coast.
Number 2 Arena 860, 280. 6 Sky Heights 190. 3 Lawyer 190. Treble 11, 1, 2, 780, 210.
To the 800. Gosh, he's weaved his way through the field, and he's won the Derby from number 6 Sky Heights, who has ridden a copybook race but just failed to stay the complete trip. And third in is number 3, Lawyer, who got pushed out off the track on the first turn with a bit of interference. Fourth in is number 1, Mosman, who tried to lead all the way. The numbers are in the frame for the Derby, 2, 6 and 3. John Hawkes hasn't won the Derby before. He's waited for this one. And it's been a magnificent ride by Cassidy to make all his ground up on the inside.
Almost
Larry
set at the coast. 2 Arena, 810, 270, 6 Sky Heights, 190, $1.80 Lawyer. Quinella, $20.60. Exacta, $45.30. The 263 Trifecta, $142.50.
It's in going to number 6 Sky Heights, who battled on courageously. Lawyer is third. And Wayne Hawkes, the Melbourne foreman for his dad. Let's join him in the mounting yard now.
I have Wayne Hawkes, congratulations. This horse ducked in the straight his last start, Wayne, but he did everything right today, come from a long way back.
Yeah, he did. I mean, you know, we always win it as the underdog, and we were pretty happy with that. You know, I mean, it was just the other day he was unsettled, and even at the races the other day he was toey, and that run the other day did him a world of good. And, you know, we were sort of quietly confident going into the race, and
Set at the coast.
always glad to be the underdog.
How did you ask Larry to ride this horse? Did you expect to get that far back?
Yeah, he did. Dad wanted him to jump and go back from the bad alley, and you know, when acceptance come out, it looked sort of pretty gloomy.
Kentucky Express is very fractious out wide.
That first corner.
Heat racing. Kentucky Express was one of the first to go. Mr. Sonic, if you please, and Briar's Army left okay. This time, Bossy immediately dropped out last. The favourite left best, Come On Grace, but going up very quickly, Planet Green to lead from Come On Grace. Then Emerald Green, wider as Zephyr Bell, followed by Snar Dame. Bossy second last, and a length further back is Sporting Colours. They race on towards the 1,000 marker, and the leader here is Planet Green. About 3/4 of a length over Emerald Green, 2 lengths to Zephyr Bell. A half to Come On Grace, back to fourth on the inside. A little more than a length then coming Snar Dame, followed by Sporting Colours and Bossy. 8 lengths would cover them, working to the side and going past the 800 marker, and Planet Green untroubled to lead the way and getting out by about 2 lengths now on Emerald Green. A length and a half further back is Zephyr Bell, a length then to Come On Grace, followed by Snar Dame. Bossy a little wide, and Sporting Colours is last of all with 550 to travel, and there's no change in the order. The Hawkesbury train, Planet Green, is making play. A length and 3/4 Emerald Green. Wonders Zephyr Bell. Come On Grace over on the inside from Bossy, and then Snar Dame and Sporting Colours. Straightening up now, 350 to go, and Planet Green a length. Emerald Green, Come On Grace over on the inside from Zephyr Bell. Sporting Colours can't get clear from Snar Dame and Bossy on the outer. Any one of the 7 can win. Planet Green the leader. Come On Grace trying to get up on the inside, no room, and here's Bossy flying down the outside. Bossy is coming quickly, Snar Dame going with it, and Planet Green on the inside. I reckon Bossy. I think Bossy and Nostril. Planet Green in a very close finish from Snar Dame, Zephyr Bell, Come On Grace, no luck in the straight from Emerald Green and Sporting Colours. Terrific finish. Bossy wide out here, and Planet Green over on the inside. They're the two wide apart. Hang on to your tickets. $8 and $3.10 for number 7.
On the Super Tab 7 Bossy, 870, 360, 2 Planet Green, 520. There'll be no third for whichever one gets it there.
By for the numbers to show after the previous race of the day. Number 7 is the winner, and that is Bossy, ridden by Daniel Beasley. Number 7, Bossy, $8 and $3.10, getting up in the last couple of bounds to beat number 2, Planet Green, ridden by Kevin Moses at $6.30, and no third for number 1, Snar Dame.
Yeah, for Tie the Knot, might see it just run favourite now. Off and running. Oh, Fairform stood there. Fairform missed the start about 4 or 5 lengths. And Markham Slater get going, and Ennis Mirabilis bounced quickly with Champagne. Aerosmith going up in the middle, and further out then came Northern Drake, followed by Tie the Knot. Further back, It's All in Fun. 2 lengths Catalan opening Marble Halls. 2 to Dodge, a length and a half Markham, and Fairform has caught the field. 1,700 to go. Dettori took the Ennis Mirabilis to the lead now. Ennis Mirabilis moved out by 4 lengths in the early point. Second is Aerosmith, a length Champagne. Then Then Northern Drake up on the outside to tie the knot as this leader gets further ahead to the back. Further back in the race, Marble Halls, It's All in Fun. Then Catlin opening, followed further back by Dodge, Markham, and last of all, Fair Form. Into the back, and Anis Mirabilis, the import here, is out about 8 to 10 lengths in front for Detoria Chiquita Lodge. He's gone further ahead. He's 12 lengths in front now. From Aerosmith second, a length into Champagne to tie the knot. 3/4 then Northern Drake running fifth. 2 lengths further back, It's All in Fun. Marble Halls the inside, followed by Markham. Then Catling opening, followed by Dodge the inside, and 2 to Fair Form last of all. 850 metres to go. Anis Mirabilis 6 or 7 in front. Aerosmith is second, Champagne third. 2 then to Northern Drake covering up, tie the knot, a length and a half further back in the race. Then It's All in Fun. Markham around it from Marble Halls. Anis Mirabilis coming back to them about 3 lengths in front before the turn. Now 2 in front from Champagne and Aerosmith. He slowed them up again to Tory turning for home. Markham is off the track around Northern Drake. Tie the knot, the red jacket, white cap waiting for a run. Dodge got up on the inside of him. Into the straight they race, 400 to go. Anis Mirabilis again in front. Nearly a length to Champagne, ranging up on the outside. She's gone up to Anis Mirabilis and Northern Drake to third. Then Aerosmith a gap, tie the knot, followed by Catlin opening. Anis Mirabilis has gone and Champagne whizzed to the front. Race 2 lengths to Northern Drake. Anis Mirabilis, Aerosmith, then tie the knot. But the mare from New Zealand, Champagne, is race clear. She's holding Northern Drake at bay, and Champagne by 2.5. Northern Drake second. Third home Aerosmith, just in front of Anis Mirabilis, and tie the knot the outside. A gap in the race further back, then to Catlin opening, then Dodge, Marble Halls, Markham. Well back, It's All in Fun, and Fair Form stayed in the gates, missed the start. 4 lengths is last of all.
Number 12 Champagne at 8.50 and 2.40, 9 Northern Drake at 2.60, and 5 Aerosmith for third at $3.
12 Champagne, 8.50, 2.50. 9 Northern Drake, 2.60. 5 Aerosmith, 2.40.
Going out on Anis Mirabilis, probably leading them a good 10 to 12 lengths at one point along the back. He had his foot flat on the accelerator there, Frankie. I don't know what happened there. Might have mistook the laps.
Almost set at the coast. The Quinella to pay $38.30. Exact is $74. $12.95 trifecta. $507.90. The extra double 2 Arena and 12 Champagne, $74.20. Special div $7.60.
Northern Drake by a good 2.5 to 3 lengths, and Aerosmith got third. Tie the knot disappointing. Aerosmith plodding on. And I don't know whether we saw anything back in the field that could win a cup on that run. Honours with Champagne. Big win. Quickly outside the leader when they turned in, 4.50 out, and once he let her down, this mare, Greg Hall, she kicked and she dashed past them. Numbers in the frame, 12, 9, 5, 2 and 7. 12, 9, 5 and 2, 2.3. And a win to Greg Hall on Champagne for Laurie Laxon. And a big win. A big win. Second placing to 9 Northern Drake. Solid run. Third in number 5 Aerosmith, Greg Charles. Fourth in is Anis Mirabilis, which is a fair job considering. And number 7 Tie the Knot, only plotted into 5th placing. 12, 9 and 5. They are the placings. Back with
ready to
Toad
go. Stand by for dispatch
today. And the step up, they're off. Ruby Tough near the inside away quickly, and Crestfallen pinged out of the gate. She went straight to the front on settling down. Ruby Tough is going to settle inside of Late Whisper. A length away, Iger Win. He's just a bit wide from High Office, from Room for a Slew, Royal Anthem. And Sweeping View grabbed hold of, went back to the tail of the field at the 1200. Crestfallen in charge, led by a length on Late Whisper. Ruby Tough ideally positioned by Quinn on the inside of Iger Win. 2 lengths to High Office, Room for a Slew the outside, from Royal Anthem and Sweeping View at the tail. 6 lengths first to last as they cast 1,000 astern, and Crestfallen given a breather. At its girth on the outside is Late Whisper. 2 lengths to Ruby Tough, settling on a piece of leather beautifully in third. Iger Win on the outside. 2 lengths to High Office, Room for a Slew covering it up. 2 lengths away is Royal Anthem, and last of all Sweeping View. 700 metres out before the judge, and Crestfallen in charge, moving a bit closer to the outside. Late Whisper. 2 lengths to Ruby Tough. Quinn looking to extricate himself away from the fence. Iger Win's got him snookered. Room for a Slew about to come deep. High Office the inside from Sweeping View, and Royal Anthem last of all. Spread home on the bend. Crestfallen in front with Late Whisper going up to put its nose in front of it. 2 lengths away, Iger Win. Ruby Tough under pressure, looking to come through in the centre. Room for a Slew sailing down the outside. Ruby Tough sitting top gear now. She's after Late Whisper, who had got to Crestfallen, but Ruby Tough's moved up. Hit the lead now from Late Whisper, who's kicking again. Ruby Tough starts to gain the superiority near home, hits the lead and draws clear to win by a neck. It's Ruby Toff from Late Whisper, third tight. It's either Room for a Slew out wide, back to the inside, Crestfallen. High Offer splits the pair. Then Royal Anthem, Sweeping View and Iger Win last. Ruby Toff, the winner of the race. Number 4. I said last start when she won at Randwick she's going to make into a good filly this one, particularly next time in. She had to be ridden a little bit closer today because there wasn't as much speed on. She had the good alley, but she knows how to find the line. And she was really only just warming up the last little bit. Late Whispers fought on like a cage line on the fence. And third prize, Room for a Slew out wide, getting up to run third. The winner, Ruby Toff, $3.10 and $1.40. Over number 7, Late Whisper at $2.70. And Room for a Slew at $1.90. Quinella $18.70. Exacta $24.90. And the trifecta $174.70. Good filly, that one, Ruby Toff. Not beating a great deal, but she's got a lot more scope ahead of her next time in, particularly when she gets to a distance beyond 1,500 metres. A 3-year-old brown filly by Rubiton out of Miss Safel, trained by Robert Johnson at Hawkesbury and ridden by Rod Quinn. He was snookered coming to the bend, but he was able to angle out. He pushed the runner on his immediate outside out of the road to come into the race, that being Iger Win. And Ruby Toff took a fair while to wind up. At the 300, she seemed to flatten out for a while and not able to pick the bit up and quickly close the gap. But you could see at the 100 metres mark that she had them covered and she was always going to be too strong. Late Whisper second. Comes out of a recent good effort behind Zatella at Randwick. Has been racing well. Danny Beasley for Sally Rowe. And Room for a Slew running on fairly at the finish. Trained by Clary Connors and ridden by Brian York. She's only lightly raced, Ruby Toff. She's had 8 starts and she's got a 50% strike rate. She's won 4 of those 8. And mark my word, she will win a handy race later on, Ruby Toff. She does have the makings of a good filly. That was her 5th run this term, so she's right at the peak of her form and beautifully ridden by Rod Quinn. That's a winning double for Rod. He rode a line for Johnny Hawkes earlier in the day to victory, so a winning double for Rod Quinn. Second to Late Whisper, he battled on well, ridden a lot closer today and has showed a lot of fight in the home straight, and Room for a Slew finishing in 3rd position.
Racing, stalls are back, they're off and running now. Magic Music bounced very quickly and he's going to go to the outside. Malagra has gone away okay but quickly reeled in behind the field, and Theatre bounced and came out running here and landed in front of Dandelar when they settle down. Taukei's gone up on the outside of Rock You, and further out on the track when they settle now is Paint, and they're followed further back by Scandinavia, then Staging, and Magic Music is probably in front on the outside, coming down the grandstand rail on its own. Over on the flat rail here, and it's Theatre being joined by Dandelar. Just behind those is Rock You over on the inside of Taukei. Paint has gone up out wider. A length and a half further back, Staging, followed by Flavour and Scandinavia. To Malagra, and last of all on the flat side is Rebel. Onto the course proper, 450 out. Magic Music coming down the outside on its own. I'd say it's just in front on the flat side. Theatre under pressure. Dandelar going up is now headed at the 300 metre mark, and then Paint. Taukei trying to get out, and Scandinavia coming home well. Then Malagra and Flavour and Magic Music coming down the outside. Flat sider again in front now. Dandelar, Scandinavia wearing it down now from Taukei, and here's Flavour. Flavour after Scandinavia. Scandinavia in front. Flavour lunged and I reckon got up. Flavour, I'd say, I know Scandinavia. Might be Taukei third. They're followed by Theatre, and further back then Paint and Malagra. Rebel ran on late, followed by Staging. Dandelar squeezed up badly near the line. Then Rock You, and down the outside Magic Music on its own. It's a photo.
Number 1 Flavour, 14.80 and 4.10. Also 7 Scandinavia, 6.10 and 2.20. 8 Taukei at 2.50.
On the Super Tab, number 1 Flavour, $14.90 and $4 even. 7 Scandinavia second, $2.20. The numbers are now official. And 8 Taukei, $2.90. Daily double combination 2 and 1 there in Melbourne to return $60.50.
And the third placing, a further print here. After the running of race 8, the Salinger, number 8 gets third, Taukei. Things got tight, right on the line. And Dandelar all but went over. Magic Music went straight to the outside rail. Steve Basta was in front early, but the flat side quickly picked them up. And Scandinavia's in front, but Flavour's nailed it right on the line to get up and win. Taukei third, and just near the post, Dandelar, who was beaten at the time, got squeezed up between Taukei and Theatre. Theatre leading out from Dandelar and Paint, and Scandinavia coming out after them.
Right, about to move in at the coast. We're at the barrier at...
Hotel Rose Hill. There they go. Good even break too. Immediately Kingston Shores dropping out to last, and Allied the early leader by more than a length now on Zayla. In third position Simone, closely followed by Ken Quest. A couple two on the outside, Taradoo getting away from Mars King and Deep Snip on the rails. 2.5 to 3 Lord Gargantua at about 4 lengths Kingston Shores, and he's a Dane. It's Allied setting a nice clip, working to the back of the course past the 1500, leading a couple of lengths on Zayla, 5 lengths to Simone, 3/4 to Ken Quest, and 2 to Taradoo wide, masking in the centre, and on the fence is Deep Snip, about 3 or 4 to Lord Gargantua as they string out. Kingston Shores second last, and last of all is He's a Dane, racing along the back of the course and going to the 1200 metres, and Allied making his own speed in front. He's about 3 or 4 lengths on Zayla, 3 lengths further back Ken Quest from Simone and Taradoo, and 2.5 further away comes Mars King and Deep Snip on the rails. 3 lengths into Lord Gargantua, 3/4 the outside being the Queen Bee and Galloper Kingston Shores, and about a length and a half to He's a Dane. No great variation, working to the side of the track at 800 metres ahead of the field, and Allied the leader. 4 lengths Zayla, 3/4 Ken Quest, Taradoo working tough. Simone holding a posse on the fence, and a couple to the heavily back Mars King on the outside of Deep Snip, and another 2.5 Lord Gargantua, and then Kingston Shores, and 2 lengths further off is He's a Dane. They're travelling in the direction of the turn with 500 in front of the field, and Allied being sent along in front by 2 lengths now. Simone out after the leader. Third is Zayla at about 3 or 4 to Taradoo, Ken Quest, Deep Snip, and Mars King is a mile back. As they come to the 300, Allied's rider's gone for the whip. Simone looming up dangerously, and Simone hits the front now from Allied. 2 lengths Zayla. Nothing else can win but Simone. She loves Rose Hill in the 1900. She's racing clear. Second is Allied, then Zayla, but it's all Simone. She wins the cup and wins it well. Simone beat Allied, and Zayla followed home by Mars King. He got warmed up when it was all over. Might need 1.5 miles from Deep Snip and He's a Dane, Ken Quest, Lord Gargantua, Taradoo, and Absolute Kingston Shores.
Number 7, Simone Super Tab, $6, $2, 9 LA 280, and 6 AL at 270.
Season's Hotel Rose Hill Cup. She loves Rose Hill. She loves 1900, and she's from the Inform John Size stable. And at 5.80 and 2.30, Allied number 9, $2.90, and 6 Zayla at $2.60. That's a winning double to trainer John Size here today. John trains Turn Me Loose, and it was the first start for Size. Turn Me Loose in the third of the day with happy results. And this mare is by Monongahela Simone out of Pampas Dancer. She's raced by D.L. Simpson and a bay mare 4. She is 22 starts, 5 wins. Kevin Moses, the little Aussie battler, the winning jockey. Number 9, second Allied, making a valiant attempt to lead throughout. A bay gelding 7, Zetative drawn away. Graham Begg, Daniel Beasley, and third to 6, namely Zayla from the Paul Perry stable in Newcastle. A grey gelding 5, Zayla. Zabil from Baila, Greg Ryan, and the official 4th was number 4, Mars King. He found obviously the 1900 a little short. He was getting warmed up when it was all over, and he might now be looking for a longer journey. So 7, 9, 6.
Up. Stalls are back and they're off and running now. Bounced in a good line with Blazing Steel going back shortly after the start. Monet's Cove, Rancho Spark out in a hurry here with Holdeman and Bazille Bay, and over on the inside Classic Day. Zahiro around the outside from Saboom, cut up rough, then Major Victory, 2 further back, then Profit Taker. Over on the inside Inauguration, 1.5 Confiscate, 3 Monopolise, and they're flying in front at the moment. 2 lengths further back Litmus, 4 Galactic Valley, and 2 to Blazing Steel. He must be 20 off the front. Rancho Spark the leader, 3/4 Bazille Bay, 2 for the back Classic Day third, 1 for the back Monet's Cove, and 5th on the outside 3 deep Zahiro. Sir Boomer's next now on the outside of Holdeman, cut up rough the fence, 1.5 Major Victory. Profit Taker, 2 further back Inauguration, Confiscate, Monopolise, 3 then further back Litmus. Blazing Steel can't get within the cooey of them, and Galactic Valley's behind him. Around the turn Rancho Spark, straight and 3/4 in front of Bazille Bay. Classic Day is out now third, followed by Zahiro, Monet's Cove, then cut up rough, and further back then Profit Taker. Jimmy looked over his shoulder on Bazille Bay. It bolted up to Rancho Spark, 200 to go. He put 4 lengths on Classic Day and then Monet's Cove, but he went for home on Bazille Bay, let the favourite down and go, Jimmy, go. Bazille Bay shot 4 in front of Rancho Spark. Profit Taker late down the outside. Bazille Bay canters home by 5 lengths. Profit Taker second, Rancho Spark third. Then Major Victory Classic Day, Monopolise out deep. A gap in the race then, further back Monet's Cove pulled up quickly with Saboom. Then came Blazing Steel from Cut Up Rough. Litmus Star Hero further back, Inauguration followed by Confiscate. Second last Galactic Valley, and Holderman is last of all in a blistering 120.8, which is a track record.
Number 5, Bazille Bay, 320, 180. 6, Pleasure Giver, 290. And number 12, Rancho Spark at 12.10.
5, Bazille Bay, 320, 190. Number 6, Pleasure Giver to pay 290, and 12 for third, Rancho Spark, 970.
Canter from Pleasure Giver, number 6. And third, just waiting on the third, number 5 goes in the frame. It's 1 in a canter. Number 5, Bazille Bay, Jim Cassidy. 6, Pleasure Giver, Chris Munn second. And third is number 12, and that is Rancho Spark, ridden by Aaron Spiteri. 5, 6 and 12. 5, 6 and 12 in the last. 120.8. So he's eclipsed the record of, let's have a look, 120. Was he equal the record, or was he a tick outside? It's been an amazing gallop. Those horses out the back just couldn't keep up. Time in the last, let's have a look, 120.8. The record, 120.6, so he's run 2 tenths outside.
About to move into the coast on the last.
They're off. Nice level dispatch again. Face It is going to go to the early lead now from Bombardment, who jumped away pretty well. Third is Dr. Squill, followed by Grey Dawn. Trapped just that little bit deep early. A length Elite Trooper on the outside of Lively Lad, 1 to Battle Wise, and a length and a half the favourite Gracida. At the 1200 metres, and Face It on the outside, and Bombardment. Not a tremendous amount of speed on here, and they match strides. A length and a half to 2 Dr. Squill, and then Lively Lad, Grey Dawn, and about 3 further back as they run to the 1,000 mark of Elite Trooper. Battle-wise, the neck back on the inside, and 3 lengths Gracida. Working to the side of the track and going along to approach the 800 pole. And here's some action coming from the rider of Dr. Squill. He wasn't happy with the speed. I refer to young Jackson Morris. And Dr. Squill sped around the outside to lead about a length and 3/4 Bombardment. 3/4 to Face It, about 2 lengths further back on the inside, Lively Lad from Grey Dawn. Then Elite Trooper Battle-wise, and a length and a half further back is Gracida sticking to the inside. Coming up to and around the home corner, and Dr. Squill from Newcastle. Morris has a peep over the left shoulder. It straightens up about 2 lengths Bombardment. Lively Lad getting up on the inside. A length and a half to Gracida, hooking away from the rails now. And then Face It, followed by Grey Dawn. Gracida starting to knuckle down to his work. He's after Dr. Squill. Gracida's finishing powerfully. Eyes looking the goods. He's home. This will be 3 for Rod Quinn today. Gracida put 2 Dr. Squill. Lively Lad, Bombardment, Grey Dawn. But Gracida trots it in. Gracida, an easy winner from Dr. Squill. Third is either Lively Lad or Bombardment, followed by Grey Dawn, and then came Battle-wise, Face It, and Elite Trooper last. Much too good. Number 4, Gracida.
For Gracida, 280, 155. Dr. Squill, 170, standing by for third.
Dr. Squill, number 5, has run second, and it'll return a dividend of $2. And the issue for third is relatively close. We'll have the third number coming up in just a moment. The winner, Gracida, is a promising horse. He is trained by Ron Lehman at Warwick Farm for many owners. R and Mrs. L. Turk, K and Mrs. M. O'Neill, Mrs. G and D. R. Lehman, G and Mrs. J. Menzies, R. J. Hughes and R. Bamforth. So plenty to split up the spoils of $25,160. The winner by Dr. Grace from Candida, known as Gracida, a bay gelding 4, and as I say, 3 winners to Rodney Quinn. Second.